when it comes to the Rams, I am not thinking about, hey, they took a step in the right direction. They can go get them next year. Absolutely not. Not with a 37-year-old quarterback. No way. This might be the last great opportunity they have to win a Super Bowl. So I'm going to be very harsh on the Rams. The way I feel about the Rams coming out of this game, I'm not as high on them as I was going into the playoffs. I thought going into the playoffs, even though they did not win their division, I still thought that they were going to get to the Super Bowl and ultimately win the Super Bowl. Even after this performance against the Bears, I just don't feel confident saying that. Like they went to the overtime with the Bears in a game where Caleb Williams threw 3 interceptions. And it's not like the Bears defense is some outstanding defense. And you're going to play Seattle in Seattle. I don't like the Rams' chances in that game. And I get it. Like the Rams stepped up and they made plays when they needed to make plays, especially Matthew Stafford, that throw in overtime to get them in position to kick that field goal to win the game. As impressive of a throw as you're going to see. But overall, when you look at the macro view of this game, there were some really, really mind-boggling things that the Rams did here. Like the fact that you couldn't put up more points on the Chicago Bears a week after your performance against the Carolina Panthers, where it looked like Carolina should have won that game. And there's no way you're telling me that Carolina is some really good football team. They didn't even have a winning record this year and they made the playoffs. And the Rams went down to the wire with them. So when I look at what the Rams are doing and what the Seattle Seahawks are doing, how in the world am I going to be able to convince myself that the Rams are a better football team than Seattle and that they're going to win this game? I don't see that at all. Now, could it come into place for the Los Angeles Rams and you have Devontae and Puka playing at a really high level and Stafford's getting the ball to them and they're running the football effectively and their defense is stepping up? Can I see that happening? Yes, because they are a very talented football team. But do I see that happening against the Seattle Seahawks, who have like the second best or third best defense in the league outside of Houston? Do I see that happening? No, I don't. I think Seattle is going to win that game. I think they're going to win that game convincingly. And I'm not saying it's like a 10-plus point victory, but I think they'll probably win by a touchdown, and we'll probably be watching that game saying, we know who's going to win this game. Yeah, it could be a 10-point game or it could be a 7-point game, right? And the Seahawks have a 7-point lead, and we're looking at this like, Rams ain't going to score here. I don't know. And I'm not trying to sound like a hater of the Rams. Matthew Stafford's one of my favorite quarterbacks of all time. And I love the Rams coming into the season. I had them winning the Super Bowl coming into the season. Coming into the playoffs, I had them winning the Super Bowl. But when I look at their performance throughout the course of these playoffs, I get it. The Bears are a good football team. But at the same time, do I think the Bears are on the Seahawks level? Absolutely not. And the Rams almost lost this game. In a game where the quarterback gave them the ball 3 times. I mean, that's just awful. It's not awful because you won a divisional round playoff games and wins come, wins, you're going to take a win no matter what. But when I look at the Rams, this is not like, yes, they have a young core, right? Like, especially when you look at the defensive side of the ball, they do not have a young quarterback, right? Like, this is their window. So I'm going to be more critical on them when I'm not seeing great play out of them than I'm going to be out of a team who, has a younger quarterback, like the Green Bay Packers per se, right? Like, I'm going to be more critical about the Rams because they have a window and they could cash in on an opportunity to win a Super Bowl. And they could still absolutely win the Super Bowl this year. If they get past Seattle, they're going to win the Super Bowl. Like, I think we're seeing the Super Bowl next week in the NFC Championship game. I think it's either going to be Seattle or it's going to be LA who wins the Super Bowl this year. But at the same time, when you're asking me, who do I feel more confident in? The Rams or the Seahawks? Right now, it's the Seahawks. It's not a question either. I don't like the way that the Rams have been playing recently. I haven't been impressed. The Week 18 loss to the Falcons, inexcusable. You go to Carolina, you win against an 8-9 football team, and you needed a last drive touchdown to win that game. Then you go into Chicago, and they're giving you every opportunity to beat them and finish the game. And yes, you did end up making the plays at the end of the game to win this game. But when we're talking about this, like, look, here's the thing. Like I said earlier, when it comes to the Rams, I am not thinking about, hey, they took a step in the right direction. They can go get them next year. Absolutely not. Not with a 37-year-old quarterback. No way. This might be the last great opportunity they have to win a Super Bowl. So I'm going to be very harsh on the Rams because I want them to get this done. I want the Rams to prove me wrong and go win the Super Bowl this year. I love Matthew Stafford. I think he's an awesome quarterback. He's one of my favorite quarterbacks of all time. But the confidence level, do I feel that confident in them making this happen and getting the job done? No, I don't. I don't think they're going to beat Seattle next week. But if they do, I mean, like, all bets are off at that point because I'm not necessarily like overly impressed with either of the teams in the AFC. Like if the Broncos had Bo next year, I might feel a little different about them. If, you know what I'm saying? Like, the thing is with the Patriots, I mean, like, we'll talk about the Patriots later in the episode, but that's besides the point. I'm just seeing a Rams team that's kind of running out of juice here, and I hope they get it together. I would love to see it, but if we're looking at how they played against the Chicago Bears and how the Seahawks played against the 49ers, I don't know how you can come out of both of these games saying you feel confident in the Rams to win. And I get it. That's not how football math works. I get it. I understand that. But at the same time, I'm just going off what I'm seeing with my eyes. What I'm seeing with my eyes. And especially like when you look at, it's not just the game against the 49ers in the divisional round. It's the game week 18 where they won the division as well, where they thoroughly outplayed the San Francisco 49ers. That's what I'm looking at. It's not just what I saw them do this week. It's what I saw them do 2 weeks ago and what I've seen the Seattle Seahawks do all season. And the fact that they beat the Rams in Seattle. Yes, that was a game where, like that game went to overtime, but I just think both these teams are heading in two different directions here. So, hey, look, if they win the Seattle game, I'm gonna predict that they're gonna win the Super Bowl, but I don't think they're gonna win that game.